Oh, wow. It's on. Let me chat with you. So, how y'all doing? I I just had an epiphany. And this epiphany, I am guided to share it with you. It has to do with quantifying value. Quantifying value. I was sharing with someone the other day about how I used to go to a coffee shop in a town in Michigan called Birmingham. And in this coffee shop, it was in the area that I lived, which was Bloomfield Hills. Birmingham was right over. It was very, very safe, and me myself, I didn't watch the news, so whatever was going on at that time, if there were issues in the world, I was completely away from it. Okay, and so I just was very carefree. And it's interesting because and I didn't see anything wrong with it, but I would be in the Starbucks, for example, for many hours. And I would sometimes take a lunch break and go down the street to go to Panera Bread. Panera Bread was down the street, but I didn't want to close my computer up or anything. So I would just leave my computer sitting on the table and didn't want to listen to this, didn't want to leave my spot because there were so many people there. I was working on I'm talking about my computer had everything on there, all of my business, um, everything, very valuable information, etc. But it never crossed my mind to be concerned about leaving my computer there. In fact, I remember telling someone that was visiting my little nephew's son. He was visiting, and he was like, "Auntie, you gonna leave your computer there?" Yeah, I left my computer right on the table and went down the street and had my Panera Bread, and came back. Oh, it'll be fine, and left it there, and it was fine, right? Always fine. And of course, as we're coming into this experience of awareness, understanding that it is for us to keep high vibrations, and it's for us to, if you don't think about it, then it won't come. Just don't think about it. Don't think about it, and you don't have to worry about anything happening in that area. Give it no focus. So one could say, oh, she's just really being very carefree, and she's that energetically high that she is not thinking about it, and she was really free. This is true. However, I also had not ever realized, or I guess I was so high I didn't realize any betrayals or anything, and in my life I wouldn't say that I even had encountered that. But then things changed. So, and this is for somebody, because there are so many people that are going through, there's gaslighting and manipulation and things of that nature. It's very prevalent now, like it's a thing. Okay, like that's why a lot of people are going through a lot of depression. There are a lot of mental elements that are being experienced in so many people's lives. And when you're healing through the process of betrayal, through the process of overcoming something that caused great fear in a moment, you may have picked up and kept going, but if you slowed down, then you'd realize that you were harmed, you were wounded. You cannot forget the fact that you were wounded. And in reality, right, as we are aiming to fly high, vibe high, we must also be very conscious to remember and be gentle with ourselves, to know that I did go through that. If you were in a war, on a real battlefield. The big shots, they may get wounded. They will get wounded, most likely. They're going to be wounded. They're going to be fighting when they really could have given up. And they may put something on the arms, or they may put something in an area where they were shot just to keep them alive enough to go through the scenario and make it through on the other side. But the reality is, although they're moving, they haven't healed yet. They are not completely healed yet. They haven't slowed down to go and take care of that situation, that situationship. Okay, so they haven't healed. In the scenario of the coffee shop, in my freedom, not worrying about anything, anybody doing anything or whatever, there is something different that happens to someone who experienced a direct attack, something that is an intentional attack, betrayal, whether it's betrayal, fear, or whatever. You think differently. And you may be really trying not to fall into a scenario of fear or doing extra, and so your cautions, you question. Is this fear, or is this something I really should be cautious about? Is this divine talking to me, or should I be cautious? Should I just drop it all and say, F it, I'm just going to be free and be careless? Or is it that times have changed, your intuition is high, you've really, now you can pick up and sense what you never could sense before, and at the time, look, your divine spirit team was just on ground helping you. God take care of children and fools. It's like, in the real world, you shouldn't have left that computer on that table. So yeah, your spirit team, your angelic spirit team was there helping you, guarding you, protecting you. Are they still there today? Absolutely. But when you know better, you do better. Or do you? It's your choice. Don't beat yourself up in the scenario of growth and development, because you've experienced what you experienced. And you need to be careful of, you have to, when you value something, like for example, I am aware of both sides. I'm aware that people are literally, everybody's not nice, okay? And just because somebody is smiling in your face doesn't mean anything. Do I sit and focus on that? Absolutely not. But what I ask for is wisdom. I ask for, and I invite you to do this. You want wisdom. You want wisdom. Wisdom of how to take care of what you have been charged to take care of in this game called life. You have a responsibility. So you want to be responsible. You want to be responsible for it. Your spirit team is busy enough. So let's help out in this sense. Okay, I have to quantify my value, but I can I think about so many things about how I did not think about certain things that did have value, but I was so carefree. It's like, okay, it'll be all right. Maybe next time. I didn't sweat the small stuff. I still don't, right? But I have wisdom now. So with wisdom, you do things with wisdom, to have knowledge. Without wisdom, that's not power. That's foolishness. That's a mess waiting to happen. Okay? When you are not applying wisdom with the knowledge that you have. So now that you've evolved and you are now in a state of awakening, transformative mindset, it's okay to be very careful and to use wisdom. It's okay. You don't have to overthink the fact that you felt the way you felt. Your feelings are valid. You don't have to overthink the fact that you say, you know what, I'm just going to go ahead. If your intuition says, pick up your stuff and walk away from the table and don't leave your computer there, or don't leave this or that there, pick it up and keep going, take it with you, take it with you. You're not overthinking it. And yes, you are protected. You are protected, but it's okay to apply the wisdom that you've learned. It says lessons learned. You've learned the lesson. So everything you went through in your past and in your journey, as you're going along your journey, everything that you're going through in this journey, it's setting you up. It's giving you the opportunity of wisdom, guidance. And you could find yourself wanting to question the spirit and question that, to think, is this fear or is this God talking to me? Maybe I should just be as carefree as I was before and leave my computer on the table while I go down the street to Panera Bread. I used to do that. And so will I do that today? Absolutely not. Why? Because I value and I understand the value of what I carry. I understand the value of what I carry. So now I can quantify my value and I understand that. So there are different steps that I'm going to take because of how I have come to quantify my value and my position in this game called life. So every move that I make, every decision that I make, I flow with ease. I listen and I don't overthink my intuition. I know that the thoughts that come to my mind are protected. Divine has protected me. I'm protected. My thoughts are protected. The way I move is protected. Whatever happens in my life is protected. So I don't have to overthink it. Don't overthink. I feel like you're in this situation where you're kind of overthinking the guidance because you've learned so much, because you've been through so much. Some of you have been through some betrayals, some massive betrayals. You've been through some things that have caused epic fear in your life. So now in this experience of choosing to be guided, you're finding it somewhat difficult to be guided with ease because you're questioning, you're battling, and you're standing up strong because you refuse to let fear take over your life for the rest of your life. So you're like, is this fear or how should I move? I want you to know that you are going to move with ease. Say, I move with ease. Because once you've been through betrayal, gaslighting, and the master of manipulation and fear and attacks, spiritual warfare, and some people spiritually and physically and or spiritual or physically, you are cautious. But the only way you can make it through this is with divine guidance. That's the only way. You can't do it alone. It's okay to ask God to help you. It's okay. It's okay to pause for the cause before you make a move, before you allow yourself to be a certain free. But divine wants you to be completely free and joyful and happy. That's how divine wants you to really step into your freedom and your peace. And peace and fear don't go together. How we understand and have experienced fear, that is not an act of God. That is not that. That's not joy. That's something that we're overcoming. And to overcome it, you must be guided even through that. Guided through the processes. Yea, though I walk through the valley of the shadow of death, I will fear no evil, until you done feared some evil. Until you've really come in contact with some evil, you start thinking differently. But restoration to your mind, it is so. Transformation to your mind, it is so. You are mentally restored. You are physically restored. You are restored and renewed with wisdom, walking in the knowledge of the truth. So you understand exactly what has happened, what it is, and that's okay. Your feelings are valid. It's a learning process. It's like learning to walk again, learning to breathe again, learning to be free again, learning to be happy again, learning to appreciate again, learning to love again, learning to be open again. I remember I was there. I remember asking God, like, wow, like I wanted to shake something off of me. Like, can you give me back that carefree energy again, that carefree spirit again, so that I don't have to question everything or every person's intention towards me. I'm a witness. God will give it all of it back to you. But you cannot do it alone. Being alone in a room physically doesn't mean that you're alone. That doesn't mean that. God has a whole spirit team right here for you, guarding you, protecting you. Yeah, you'll be guided to do certain things. You'll be guided. Look, don't you think about that. Just go ahead and go. In my situation, I remember when I was very scared, when I was sleeping under the stars in my car. And Divine would just talk to me. Sometimes it felt kind of forcefully, like a father would, like, look, get out of this car and walk over there, and you better act like you talk. You better act like you know that we are here, that the whole spirit team is all around you. You better act like it. You better walk and know, right? See, I never knew evil. I never met evil during the last, well, not a couple years. I've been on a romantic excursion with Divine, but I'm saying over the last 10 years, I came to realize that people can really be mean. People can lie on you. People can be very vicious. People can be very jealous. People can really want so badly to be you that they attack you. So badly, they don't even know. And you can't look at a person in their face and say, oh, it's that person, so that person wouldn't. What we are dealing with in this day and age, we are dealing with entity energies that have the ability, the knowledge of their ability to move about and do whatever they do between vessels. Some of the vessels and some of the entity energies we've created. And we've created due to our lack of knowledge. So it can be in our own mind, but more often than not, it's not in your mind. It's not in your head. You saw what you saw. You heard what you heard. And gaslighting and manipulation. Hey, look. When somebody tell you who they are, believe them. If someone is saying that they have overcome something, but they're still talking about what they overcome, they didn't overcome it. It's still there. They're still dealing with it. That's still a real thing in their life. Pay attention to the signs. When you see it, acknowledge it. It is what it is. That just happened. It is what it is. And it'll save a lot of hurt. But quantifying your value has boundaries. There's boundaries when you have children. Sometimes, when you're pregnant, when a woman is pregnant, she doesn't want anybody to touch her stomach. Don't put your hands on my stomach. I never used to understand that. But now that I understand and have the knowledge and the clarity of spiritual warfare, literally, and what it means for there to be energies and negative energies and dark forces and spiritual and witches and warlocks and monitoring spirits, and I understand now. You don't know what energy that person is coming from. Just because they're smiling and doing all of this doesn't mean they get to come and cross a boundary. So when you have this awareness and knowledge, now you understand that there's such a thing as healthy boundaries, because you know who you are. You know who you are. So now that you know who you are, you know how to move. You know how to protect yourself. You know what to protect yourself from. You know how to meditate and how to pray. Meditation is the highest form of prayer, but in whatever form of prayers you need to do, you know what you need to do to protect yourself. Because now you quantify your value. You understand the importance of protection. You understand the importance of saving, like saving files. So you buy the little gadgets and gadgets to save your files. You lock things up. You know the importance and the value of what you carry, who you are, what you align yourself with, etc. Quantifying your value. Applying the knowledge with wisdom. Being free to roll with God after having the experience of fear, the experience of betrayal, the experience of these things. They don't feel good, and the healing process is tumultuous. So your feelings are valid. Yeah. Your feelings are valid. Everything that you've experienced. Even the questions that you have now, you're like, God, please just help me can I get myself back? Can I love again? Can I be free again? Can I be free again? Can I trust you again? I don't even know your voice anymore, right? Maybe you're feeling like that. Like, I don't even know your voice. Is this you talking to me? Is this in my head? Maybe you think that you're hearing what everybody else went during the experience of gaslighting when they were telling you, no, that's not happening, that's not happening. And then you've come to find out that it really did happen. Come to find out everything that you knew was happening had always, because you had always been someone who was highly intuitive but was suppressed in your gifts. So you didn't act on them how you would act on them now. You're not crazy. You're not going crazy either. Because what you are doing, you are going through the healing process, and through the healing process, yes, especially when now it's time for you to literally be guided by the voices that you were told that you weren't hearing. I'm just trying to tell you. That's why in Goal of the Soul, during our lessons, we're going to talk about the different energies, the entities, and how those things are created in our lives, how to really separate what is truth and what is not true. What is a valid experience and what may not be a valid experience. See, we're going to go through all of that. Because I want you guys to know. I want you to know exactly what you need to know so that you are not running around here and without the tools and the education of knowing the truth about even who you are, and so that you can come back to your own truth and step into it boldly and courageously. Yeah, because they've told you that. You didn't hear that. You didn't see that. And so after a while, you don't realize it, but this is like this little chopping block that's going on in your head. You know, it's just chopping down your security, your security, feeling free about who you truly are. I know, because I've been there. And the thing is, I didn't know that things like this was possible. I didn't know that people could be mean in that way. I didn't know, I couldn't even imagine a woman approaching a man. I couldn't imagine that a woman would approach a man. Like, I thought people were lying. I remember my first husband, he told me, they're coming on to me. And I thought that was the biggest lie. Like, no woman is going to come and approach a man. That is just, anyway, you know. I was so innocent. I'm serious. So I understand what it means to be hurt and to have to heal from that intentionally. Because this time in life, what we're doing is healing intentionally. We're going to live life intentionally. How can you win a game if you don't even know how to play it? How can you win the game of life if you don't even know how to play it? They fed us a bunch of BS and we took it, and that's fine. It's okay. But now how do we utilize this to our advantage? How do we transform the hurt into victory? How do we heal the hurt victoriously? Yeah. How do we transform the hurt victoriously? Well, I'm going to help you, because Divine has showed me the way, darlings. Showed me the way. Truth and a lie. And guess what? It's proof in the pudding. Because we got proof too, honey. We can quantify. We got some quantifiable results. Yes. Yes, darling. I just want to say that. Just a chit chat. Because you know what? I cannot. I just don't. I don't want people hurt like that. I don't want people hurt like that. Walking around here after being, listen, I've been physically abused and I've been mentally abused. And it's something about that mental is a mother's. Listen, it's no joke. It's a whole nother thing to heal from that. To heal from mental abuse. And usually a manipulator, a gaslighter, they take their time because they got to build a community, some Jim Crow up in you got some Jim Crows right up in your house. You ain't know. And it's healing for everybody, even for them. Sometimes you got to go through something so that you can break something, and you got to go through